And I will push for that. Nwaneri is a better creative midfielder than GULER, because I've seen him do his stuff. Good shot, good left foot, physically adapted to the Premier League already. We don't know how potentially, if we actually make the acquisition of GULER, are you sure you adapt to the physicality and the rigors and the pace of Premier League? We don't know. I'm just asking those questions. So for you to say it's not the same profile and say Nwaneri needs to improve awareness in the state of the game is farcical. What do you mean by that? Don't just throw words that are very subjective. What do you mean Nwaneri needs to improve? Welcome to the present. How are we doing this beautiful Friday morning? Before we get into the thought about Nwaneri and ARDA GULER, do me that kind favor. What am I requesting? Strike the like button, very important. Subscribe if you're new here, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell. One more time, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Very, very important. For me, what's different between GULER and Nwaneri? It's easy or easier to get excited that a player that is not within your club and there's this links and you're like, let's go and get a player. He plays for Real Madrid. He's a youngster. He's promising. He has a lot of potential. Great stuff. But we have a similar profile in our academy. There's this. I don't blame a lot of Arsenal fans or even of John fans. I don't blame you. There is this. How do I put it? You tend to respect something outside your grasp than one you have within your grasp. If you ask me directly, some of you might not agree. I think Nwaneri is a better player than GULER. Just because he plays for Real Madrid, he doesn't have many minutes under his belt, even though he's a good youngster. Just because he's on the books of Real Madrid doesn't make him better than the player we have within our ranks. Let's tell the truth. We have this tendency to overrate, overgas players who are not within our club. I understand, but you have to control it. Now, I'll read some comments when I made the video yesterday regarding our links to GULER that is a possible target for January and winter window, which I think is... Now, I understand if there's opportunity to get in quality players, do it. But if you have a similar profile that is not even getting game time, bringing him, it doesn't make sense to me. I could be wrong. I'm not the manager. The manager does the thing. But at the same time, just because I'm not the manager doesn't mean I can't say things that doesn't look sensible. Just like last year when I was telling you guys that it didn't make no sense for Arsenal to sign Ivan Toney when we hadn't even paid for Raya. And I was justified at the end. And he was not as good as a lot of you are projecting. So when it comes to ARDA GULER, good player, but I think Nwaneri is a better player and he's within our squad. He's not even getting enough game time. So signing him does not make sense. I understand there are links. I understand at the time I have his other plans. But looking at it logically, it doesn't just make sense. But some of you have some commentaries. Let me put them on the screen. So I saw this comment yesterday. Some of you guys, shout out to you. ARDA GULER isn't same profile as Nwaneri. That is a blatant lie. It's same profile. They're both left-footed and they're both creative midfielders. Right? And I will push for that. Nwaneri is a better creative midfielder than GULER, because I've seen him do his stuff. Good shot, good left foot, physically adapted to the Premier League already. We don't know how potentially, if we actually make the acquisition of GULER, are you sure you adapt to the physicality and the rigors and the pace of Premier League? We don't know. I'm just asking those questions. So for you to say it's not the same profile and say Nwaneri needs to improve awareness in the state of the game is farcical. What do you mean by that? Don't just throw words that are very subjective. What do you mean Nwaneri needs to improve his awareness of the state of the game? I'm sorry, there is nothing wrong with Nwaneri's game awareness, my personal opinion. Put some meat to the bone. Don't just put some subjectivities out. Tell me what game, and give me the proof that Nwaneri's game state awareness is poor. Show it to me. You can't just put out things with no proof. I disagree with that vehemently. Then the second comment say, bro, I understand your view, but do you think Nwaneri's style is more of a creative or ball carrier? Because I feel Nwaneri is more of a ball carrier and ARDA is more of a creative midfielder like Odegaard. We like to understand what he means, but for me, Nwaneri is a creative midfielder and can carry the ball. And is a better ball carrier than ARDA GULER. No, nothing wrong with ARDA GULER. I think he's a good midfielder. He's creative also, but I just think both ball carrying and creativity I've seen enough. Like say there's proof. Seen a Carling Cup twice. I've seen it in the few minutes he plays with senior team, even though a lot of us are advocating Arteta to give him more game time. We can see the proof is in the pudding. We've seen it. That's why there's a lot of crown call from Arsenal fans for Arteta to give him more game time. Because we can see it. When he comes into the team, he's infectious, he's creative, he can shoot the ball, he can take on a player, he can drive with the ball. His confidence is beyond his years. So there's proof to what we are saying. So you saying Adam GULER is more of a creative midfielder that like Odegaard, I do not subscribe to that totally. It just shows that we are projecting because we are hoping he can do the same thing. See, how many of you have watched Adam GULER more intentionally? He has just had 2 starts for Real Madrid this season. So if you've not watched it so much, you're just relying on bits and bits of highlights via his international games, plus a few games he has played for Real Madrid. Have you watched him for 90 minutes or 45 minutes to be more intentional? Not just highlight, watch him to understand his game state, his mentality on and off the ball. Have you watched him? So I would say we are just only projecting on what could be, not what it is. For GULER, most Arsenal fans are projecting on what could be. What for Nwaneri, I've seen it. Most of you have seen it. You've seen it. So I think I have some other comments. Say does it matter, mate? Options we need in case Odegaard is out. Nwaneri and GULER can play right and left 8. Yes, but we've seen that even though when Odegaard was out, did Arteta play Nwaneri? You have to consider that into looking forward to these players, right? Did Arteta play Nwaneri, who is a similar profile, same profile as Adam GULER, a similar age? Did Arteta play him? That is a bigger question. So even though the links are there, I'm not totally convinced that Arteta wants to get GULER. But let's see what will happen. As for playing, but yeah, I think GULER can play left 8. Like Nwaneri can do same time. But I think both can play 10. But I just prefer, and I just think in terms of ability, in terms of what we've seen empirically, Nwaneri will do a better job, in my opinion. But if Arteta is not giving Nwaneri the playing time, the game time, what's the guarantee go for GULER? Even though I understand it could be a loan, but why should we spend time developing a player that we might not actually buy in the future? It does not make sense to me. So if you listen to that part of it, does it make sense for you to give minutes to a player? Potentially, I'm not saying Arsenal might not try to buy him. That Real Madrid might refuse to buy, or will take away game time from a similar player in the squad already in Nwaneri. So those are the things we need to talk about. GULER is versatile, so Nwaneri can play on the wings, both sides, and can GULER play as an 8 and 10. Both will be good there. Isn't any question like good profile gives us more depth? I wouldn't classify them as amazing wingers, but they are facilitators when played on the wings. Okay, so it's about the wings conversation. For me, just because they can do a job as a winger, as creative facilitators as winger, not traditional wingers with the speed and directness. They are not speedy, direct wingers. So when people say Nwaneri can play on the wings, I disagree vehemently, because just because you can do a job, maybe for 2 or 3 games, will you like Nwaneri to play 30 games on the wings? No. So that is not his right position. Can he do a job for 1 or 2 games? Yes. And will he do it like traditional winger? Hell no. So both GULER and Nwaneri for me are not wingers. Can they do a job for a few games here and there? Yeah, but they cannot do it consistently. So if you cannot confidently want Arteta to play them for 15 games there, that is not their position. That's not their position. So just because they can do a job doesn't mean we should classify them as wingers. I don't think they are wingers. I don't think they play 10 games. A lot of you fans will be upset with them and get on their back. So let's not play these fast and loose games we want to play sometimes because of certain conversations. So for me, they are not wingers. So let me know your thoughts on both, because I just think Arsenal don't need GULER. If Arteta insists or the recruitment team insists, no problem. Personally, we have Nwaneri there, and if not getting game time, there is no logical sense or reason why we should go and get him. But links will be there. It doesn't make it totally true. It doesn't make it false. But I am not actually 100% buying into these GULER links. Maybe they may be on that player that Arsenal are looking at Real Madrid. This is just a deflection, but I don't think so. I could be wrong too. Let me know what you think about it, this conversation in comment section. What is better in your personal opinion, GULER or Nwaneri? And do you think we can play both at the team at the same time? Let me know in the comment section. Like the video on your way out. Very, very important. Subscribe if you're new here, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. One more time, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Very important. And I will see you guys on the next one. What am I saying? I will see you guys on the next one. Keep supporting the brand. Keep supporting the channel. Bye.